Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a rut, not reaching your true potential, not challenging yourself? That is where I've been lately, falling out of consistency with Tracy Anderson, not giving much creative juice to this YouTube channel, just kind of going through the motions. Yes, I do my workouts most days. Yes, I post a video every week. But if I can put a little bit more clarity, effort, and vision into these things, I think I can do so much better. In this video, I'm going to talk through what's really getting in the way of me leveling up, and then what I'm going to be doing to level up. I hope that this motivates you and encourages you and gives you the insight you need to level up yourself. Because I think we all have some room to do that on some level. Typically, when it comes to leveling up, we go right into the solution. But the solution is one thing, addressing the core issue is another. Recently, I've been finishing up the book Untamed by Glennon Doyle, and it's the kind of book where I think anyone and everyone should read it, especially women. It's such a raw, authentic, and insightful book that's really inspired me in so many ways. One of the points Glennon Doyle brings up in this book is that when we reach challenges, we often reach for the easy button, something that's going to numb us. That could be overeating, overdrinking, too much social media, too much shopping, anything that just allows us to check out. But an alternative option that's often much better for us in the long term is a reset button, the things we actually need. So putting our phones away, being present with those we love, taking a nap, getting some true relaxation, going for a long walk, really doing what's soul fulfilling for you. It doesn't have to be much. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but something that's going to help reset you. And I think you probably already know what that is. A new reset lately that's been so empowering for me has been the To Be Magnetic program. You may have heard of this. My sister actually told me about it, and there's a lot of self-work that's involved, a lot of hypnosis, and a lot of addressing core issues. I'm in the midst of this program, but you know that once I'm completed with it and once I have my own insights and can give a true review on it, I will be creating a video on that. But that's been something to me that's really helped me tune in and address what I need to. If you haven't heard of To Be Magnetic, it's essentially a manifestation program, but it's not the typical repeat mantras, write in a gratitude journal type of manifestation course. It's much more about addressing the inner work to do that helps support your sense of self-worth and the blocks that may get in the way of you creating the life you truly want. And even it helps you identify what you truly want. Early on in the program, I thought I wanted certain superficial things that I realized do not matter to me anymore. So if nothing else, it's already created so much clarity around how I want to build my life. If that's of interest to you to learn more about that, please let me know in the comments below. So in the background, it's important to be aware of what's getting in the way of us being our best self. And oftentimes that's habits that we use to kind of numb ourselves, when really what we need are some simple resets. So getting clear on that can be very helpful. It's also important that as we're looking and taking inventory of this, that we're really honest with ourselves. Sometimes there's things we don't want to admit. For me lately, it's been admitting that I'm not disciplined today. I can be impulsive. One day I'm saying I'm cutting out coffee, and then the next I throw it out the window. One day I say I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. and knock out my workout, and the next thing you know, I'm hitting snooze. And what that ends up doing is providing more reason for me not to trust myself, not to trust my word, the strength of my word. And when it comes to what I'm going to be focusing on for my level up, it really is that, honing in and building on my discipline. Second to that, it's going to be clarity. Clarity on my goals and the systems I put in place to make those goals happen. So if you read Atomic Habits by James Clear, you're probably familiar with this quote, and I've referenced it a time or two. And that is, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So I've got to put systems in place to support me in being more disciplined. That's going to be so much more constructive than me putting myself down.
Oh, Rachel, here you go again. You're not being disciplined.
Can you relate to that? I, of course, could add more things to the list I can work on, but I think most of it stems from discipline. So adding to that list are excuses, laziness, things of that nature, which again, I think are rooted in discipline. So discipline and clarity will be at the root of what I'm calling my level up. These are going to be the categories I'm really going to be focusing on. My lack of discipline, my lack of clarity is getting in the way of me actually doing what I know would be best for me. So what's getting in the way of your own level up, of you meeting your true potential? If you're comfortable with it, would love to see that in the comments below. We all learn from each other. So what is this goal I'm going to be working on for this level up? Well, as you can imagine, for this channel, which lately has been so very focused on Tracy Anderson, it's going to be around building consistency and following the program. Because there's been many days where I miss the window of time for me to complete the workout that works best. And by the end of the day, I end up being too tired to do the workout. And then it's yet another day that I haven't done the method. And with the Tracy Anderson method, consistency is key. For those that you see get great results, much of the time is because they're very consistent. And lately, my consistency has wavered, and I've seen that, and it's very discouraging. So essentially, my goal is to complete the Tracy Anderson method daily, at least 6 times a week. And I know for many folks that seems like a lot, but for me, I know it is manageable and I know it's optimal. I do so much better when I just keep the momentum going versus 4 days here, 3 days here, so on and so forth. It's not good for me. It takes me so much more effort to build up the momentum again. So I'd be curious what goals you have in mind. With that, we'll continue on to what systems you can build. Just as that James Clear quote, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you have a goal in mind, you really got to have robust systems in place to support you in success. I am best off working out first thing in the morning. When I do that, I feel so much better about my day. I'm so inspired. I'm so proud of myself. It just ends up becoming this, as I call it, upward spiral. But usually what happens when I set my alarm and I plan on working out first thing in the morning, what I end up doing is hitting the snooze button, giving myself a great excuse for why I'm better off getting rest and not waking up. It's not good. So obviously what I'm doing today isn't working. I often tell myself, oh, I'll just work out after the workday, but that only happens 25% of the time. So out of the 4 times that I tell myself,
Oh, I'll just work out after work.
there's 1 time that I actually end up doing that. And this is why I'm so inconsistent. So what system will I use to support me in reaching this goal of doing Tracy Anderson daily? First of all, I downloaded the app called Wake. This is a special app that really helps you get up in the morning. I used this in the past and was very helpful for me. What makes this different is for you to turn off the alarm, you actually have to take a picture of a place in your house that's away from your bed. This is something that you set up early on so that you can really defend yourself from your sleepy self. So what you'll do is the alarm will go off, you have to get up out of bed, take a photo of an area that's away from your bed that you've set up ahead of time, and that's what will turn off the alarm. In addition to that, there's little games you have to play so that it really gets your mind active and going. So the purpose of this app is to really get you up and get you active so that you're out of that sleep state. In addition, within this app, you're able to build in your reasons for why you want to wake up early. So oftentimes when we're sleepy, our rational mind isn't there, and it's very easy for us to make excuses to not wake up. With Wake, you've already programmed in there the reason why you're going to wake up so that it's front and center, and it's less likely that you're going to make those other conflicting excuses. So I have Wake and I'm going to use that. I recommend you try it out. It is absolutely free. In addition to that, I'm going to ask for accountability for my fiance, Brandon. He's offered to do this, but oftentimes what works for him and motivates him is different than what works for me. He wants tough love. I don't work that way. So I asked for him to lovingly wake me up in the morning and support me in getting up because he's been successful at waking up 5 a.m. and getting his workout done. Whereas lately I've just been going back to sleep. Of course, an easy one is laying out workout clothes. And then lastly, getting very clear on what my reward is for doing that workout first thing in the morning. And I like to reach for goals that have nothing to do with buying myself more stuff or a food type treat, but something else. And in this case, I know I feel incredible when I work out first thing in the morning and the rest of my day. It's just magical. I was joking that if it were something that people could actually pay for, people would pay a lot of money for that just worked out feeling and the pride you have when you've accomplished that, getting into the rest of your day. That's going to be my reward. And getting very clear and having that front and center and encouraging myself to go after that will be a main focus of mine. That's a great system, but what else can I do to support myself? Well, one, I can go to bed early. That way I feel well rested and not groggy when I wake up early to get this workout going. Another thing I can do is read before bed. That really helps me to go to sleep and have great quality sleep. Another thing is putting away my phone at least an hour before going to bed. That way that blue light isn't affecting me. And again, it helps me to go to sleep. And as you can see, all of these things require discipline. So it probably takes the most discipline for me to get up out of bed early, but all these other details are going to help support me in strengthening that discipline muscle. And as I build that discipline muscle, I can also build confidence over time and find myself saying, I actually am a very disciplined person, and here's why. Therein changing the belief I have about myself today. So that's how I can level up my Tracy Anderson Method game, making sure that I'm more consistent and of course doing that first thing in the morning. But as you can imagine, I put a lot of thought into how I can level up this YouTube channel. And as much as I love creating content around Tracy Anderson and will continue to, I find so much more meaning in creating honest, authentic content around the things I'm doing that's actually making a difference. So if you find that that would be helpful and valuable to you, please be sure to comment below, especially if you have any topic ideas that you'd like me to cover. But with that, I thank you as always for supporting this channel, leaving a comment, liking, subscribing. It makes all the difference in the world. And because I learned from so many of you, would love to hear how you level up, or maybe you're working on leveling up something. Please be sure to comment below. It is so helpful for all of us that read them. Once again, thank you for watching. I so appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time.